I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up for this video you're about to watch. Originally, this was just going to be me unboxing and testing out a German Amiga monitor that was sent to me by my buddy Frank, who's actually the same guy who sent me my entire Amiga setup a few years back. And you can watch that video by clicking on the iCard, wherever that is. However, this video has since evolved since I first started working on it. And instead of just being me opening up and testing out that monitor, it's also me cleaning up and setting up my Amiga setup so it's better than it ever was before. And so, let's get right into it. I got a box! I got a box! It's a German box. There's Amiga stuff in it. Oh. Whoa. There it is. I think it's okay. So, hi. This is a box. This is a very big box. Indeed. So, what's in this box? Well, as I said, it's Amiga stuff and okay, before I go on, hi. Welcome to Stuff We Play, home of everything weird and retro. And as always, I'm James, your host who just got a thing in the post. This is something I got, I guess in a trade of sorts, technically, with my buddy Frank in Germany. And if you've been watching this channel since 2017 or so, you may know that Frank's my buddy who sent me his Amiga 2000. Okay, so what do we have in the box? So we could have, and excuse me as I butcher these, but One-Zimmer? S-Zimmer? Coochie? I think that says Coochie. Schlafzimmer? Kinderzimmer? Gasterzimmer? Bad? I mean, whatever's in there could end up just being bad. Who knows? I mean, I think it's going to be good, but it could be bad. Abstil... Spelled out, James. Abstilkammer? Keller? Or a garage. Yeah, there could be an entire garage in here. Who knows? You know, Germany is a very technologically advanced country. Maybe you can just buy a new garage from like Home Depot or whatever their equivalent is, and they'll just ship it to you in a box like this. Okay, so with that in mind, I think it's time to finally open this thing up. And I have just the knife for the job. Yeah, this fancy purple knife that I got for 10 bucks at TsukinoCon. Follow the link in the iCard to see me... Right, cut away from yourself, not towards yourself. But to see me as part of the T-Bay's TV panel. Yeah, look at that. Wow, I will not be able to reuse this box. Oh, maybe no, I will not. So, first things first, this is something I was not expecting. Okay, this... Oh, what? This is a Jurassic Park Scan Commander. This in itself might be worthy of a video. That's... Frank, you've outdone yourself. But what else do we have in here? Well, I see the main attraction already. This is seriously the main attraction that took up the majority of this box, believe it or not. Yes, that's right. Sponges. Again, no. Alright, I need to be very, very delicate with this. This is something I'd love to restore at some point for the outer shell, but it should work just fine. I don't want to take it apart since I don't have much experience working on these sorts of things in particular. But what we have is an actual Commodore Amiga monitor. That's right, this is the actual Commodore branded German monitor. Yeah, all the dials and everything. I know he told me it was a little yellowed plastic wise, so I expected that. I'll probably still go over it and just give it a quick wipe down before I hook it up. The next step for me then is to actually get a proper plug for this thing. So I guess in that case, I need to head to Amazon.
One eternity later.
Hey all, it's been a couple weeks, hasn't it? I mean, it's really just been a jump cut, but it's actually been a couple weeks since I worked on this video. In the time since then, a pandemic has ravaged the world, and I've also gotten this beautiful power cable for the monitor. It should work just fine. It's actually like the same type of power cable you'd find in the kettle. I actually have the North American equivalent to these, but I needed the European one because it's a European monitor and I need to be able to run this all through my step up and down converter, which is right next to the big box where I keep all my loose floppies in. I need a better solution for that, I know. It's the best I've got. When I first got this Amiga, Frank sent me a lot of stuff, and I really love this system, but I've also realized I've never really given it a proper clean, and it needs one. And this one's really cool because it has both a disk drive and a CD drive. And the CD drive and disk drive work, but I'm not sure if you can see it, but the CD drive has a little dent in it. So let's get that out. The board I want to try the most on it is this PCAT emulator board. I'm really fascinated to see how this works. But yeah, instead of really going over the details and such in depth, I figured let's do an actual disassembly montage. Let's get this all organized and let's get this set up. Oh, also before anyone asks, I've been using this Roadstar TV that I also got from Frank in the meantime as a monitor. And I'm going to keep that. I'm not getting rid of it because it's also my only way to play European VHS tapes. But it's probably going to go into storage after this, so I can put the Amiga monitor up there. I'll probably keep it around because I have some European plug-and-play consoles, and also because I want to get a ZX Spectrum at some point. Because, I mean, if you can play European games, why not get a Spectrum, right? Anyways, let's get into the disassembly montage. Okay, so I've moved everything off the desk so we can reorganize it, and boy is this desk dusty. It's real dusty. Now there's three main parts to the Amiga besides the unit itself that we need to look at. One is my Amiga keyboard, which oddly enough seems almost near mint. The rest is a little yellowed and stuff, but this keyboard looks and feels almost like new, or how I'd imagine like new is. You know, I was a 90s kid. This was a little before my time. We also have the Amiga 520 expander, German version. This is how I had it hooked up over composite before. As we can see, we probably won't be needing that anymore. We also have the Amiga mouse, which really does need a clean. It doesn't look too bad, but I'm not sure if you can see. It's a little grimy in places. So we'll be cleaning that, and everything will be getting properly cleaned with like compressed air and isopropyl alcohol. And I have my phone for when we're filming stuff right here, because even though this is a great spot for a desk, it's a little awkward to film. So let's get right into it. Cleaning montage time, yeah! So as we can see, after a lot of work, it's set up. This monitor here can accept RGB and it can accept composite. Unfortunately, I don't have a working RGB cable right now, so it's composite, but composite is still a step up from RF, and this can do RGB. But I need to get a proper RGB cable, but that's fine. It's time for the moment of truth. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's actually try this out. Yeah, hopefully we don't get any magic smoke. Now, some may be asking, James, you went to all that trouble cleaning the Amiga. Why not do the same with the monitor? And the answer is simple. That is a CRT. I'm not gonna... I'd need, like, way more space than I currently have. Honestly, I love doing this, like, restoration style vid, but whew, if I do more of these, I need to do it after I finally move house. But yeah, look at this. Look how organized things are. We even have a place for my little mini arcade cab that my mom gave me on top of this stack of Omega zip discs. So, moment of truth. The monitor, I know works. Alright, now let's turn on the Amiga. Look at that. Got power. It sounds a lot smoother than before. But it is a white screen. Oh no. Okay, so I have this UK Sonic plug and play. There's color, but no sound. So, okay. I don't know what's up with my Amiga then.
One eternity later.
Okay, so the good news, I have good news and bad news. The good news is I know exactly what's wrong. And even better news is, holy crap, I didn't screw anything up. The bad news is that there is, as we saw with the Sonic Blast demo, there is an issue with the sound on the 1084S here. There's really two things I need to do at this point. One is get an RGB cable for this so I can plug it in properly. And the second is just get some sort of external amp or something to plug it into and really make the most awesome Amiga setup possible. Though I may lay off on that till I move house. Hey, before we end off for real on this video, I actually, I can't believe I blanked on this. Yes, the composite connection from the Amiga is black and white. So now, here, let's give this one more try. That said, I am eagerly awaiting the RGB cable, and I'll post a link in the description when that comes. But look at that! Look at that! You can't really see it. You should see it in a sec. But look at that! It's in color! It's kind of jittery because that's the camera picking it up, but I promise it's actually a very clean composite signal on my end. So with that, let's insert workbench. Let's get this started up. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks to my patrons for this very weird video that I promised a while back. Justin Chipman, The Golden Bolt, Dylan Ola, Robert and Abby Hornibrook, List, Jeeden Next Level, Andy Lycole. They're all awesome. Do you want to see me do more proper restoration videos? Probably a bit more structured than this. If I do, it'll definitely be after I move house eventually, so definitely let me know. It's a little cramped here. In the meantime, though, I think it's time that maybe I play some Turrican. Yeah, Turrican time. Software failure. Maybe it's not Turrican time. Yeah, Sonic's flipping us off. Isn't this how it always works? No matter how hard I try to escape it, I always end up back with Sonic. Anyways, thanks for watching, y'all. Remember to subscribe and all that jazz.